Welcome back, everyone. I usually don't like to start with facts, but you might recall not too long ago we did an interview about strokes, and the statistics really just stayed in my mind that once every 40 seconds someone in this country suffers from a stroke, and that, believe it or not, it's the fifth leading cause of death. And we noticed that as a follow-up to that interview that we did, that there's going to be a walk in Glens Falls to help raise money for a very worthwhile organization called Steps for Strokes. So we contacted them, and very graciously, stroke victim Lydia King is here to join us, and one of the caregivers, Sandy Mueller, is here. So ladies, welcome.
Welcome.
Very nice to have you here.
Yeah.
And you're welcoming me too. That's
yes,
good.
I am.
Good. Okay, I'll stick around then for a while. Sandy, I want to start with you.
Yes.
You're a caregiver for Steps for Strokes.
Yes, I am.
Two things. Why are you a caregiver? And secondly, tell us a bit about the organization.
Okay. First of all, why I'm a caregiver is the fact my husband had a stroke 9 years ago. Mm-hmm. So I had to learn a lot of things, and we went to a support group once a month, and I just got to the point where we like to go. And so when Steps for Stroke came about, I was very eager to be a part of it. And we just wanted to help other people who had strokes that had no idea what to do once they left the hospital. So with our friend Michelle, whom started it, we decided, my husband and I, Ernie, that we were going to help. And we enjoy it, and we like to get out there and be able to just talk to people whom have had a stroke. And how can we help you, or give you advice, or just have them listen, or we listen to them.
Yeah, I bet, the one thing that I've heard over and over again is that the biggest issue, if you or your loved one is suffering a stroke, is the absolute shock and surprise that it's even happening to you. You had a lot to talk about when we were talking about this before we went on air. Lydia was telling me that, what happened, right?
Yeah.
So tell me a bit about your personal experience.
Okay. In 2014, I was at work on a Friday, and I had a vision issue, and it felt different, nothing I'd ever felt before. And we happened to have a nurse there on the site that I worked at, and she took my blood pressure. It was very high, and she told me to call my doctor. I did call my doctor, but they couldn't get me in until the afternoon. By the time I got in, I spoke with her a bit, and she diagnosed me with a cortical migraine and sent me on my way. But she did tell me to look for signs of stroke. But I was 54 years old, and I thought, or, excuse me, 52 at the time.
Right. Yes.
And I thought, there's no way I'm going to have a stroke.
Right.
I'm a runner. I walk on my lunch hour every day. I watch what I eat. I'm young. I'm active. I'm fairly healthy. I did have a high blood pressure and high cholesterol, but I just never thought I would have a stroke. That Monday, after the weekend, which was a normal weekend, I woke up and I started swaying as I was in the bathroom, changing to exercise and knocking things off of my vanity. And my husband asked me if I was okay, and I'd said yes, being embarrassed that I was knocking things off the vanity, how clumsy I was. And he checked on me a bit later because he heard a thud, and I had fallen to the floor at that point. And he came in and he saw my face. I had left side face drop, and I was paralyzed on my left side. I could not move my leg or my arm, and he knew right away that I was having a stroke. He saw the signs of it, the face drop and the numbness on the extremities.
Yes, right, sure. Now, if you, I don't know about you, but just listening to that story, how often are we in a situation where we're feeling a little dizzy? We think our motor skills are a little off, but we're healthy. Lydia, perfectly healthy, 52 years old, a runner. whatnot. And the word that we were talking about before we went on air, that really sticks in my mind is you're embarrassed. Oh no, I'm fine. I'm just clumsy. You know, you have to pay attention to the signs. Because, and we're going to tell you, there's a couple of, what's the acronym? FAST, I think is the acronym.
Yeah.
And that's a great acronym, meaning that, you know, the first thing is you might experience some loss in your muscular structure in your face, right? And then the other thing is in your arms. You hear this often said. And the third thing is the S, which was, what's the S stand for? No, we're not having strokes. We're just. What's the S?
Oh, also there's cognitive loss.
That's right. You know, leave it to us to take a serious subject and have fun with it. But
and the most
speech,
important thing is time.
But the last one is
very,
the most.
very quickly.
Yes,
you have to get to the hospital very quickly.
Yes, because the sooner you get there, the sooner they can go to work on you, which prevents the amount of damage.
That's right.
That's
right.
And
of course what you need to
it's
face.
also been, you know, I've heard told, don't be afraid. Do it, even if nothing doesn't happen. If you get there and you're fine, that's okay.
That's right.
But like time, that's what it
time
means.
is of the essence in that case.
Absolutely.
Which you experienced yourself.
I did.
Now you're fortunate in the sense that they got you to Albany because they recognized that they needed to get you there quickly.
Yes.
So they got you to Albany, and 2 years later now, you've you made a lot of progress, right,
I
Lydia?
made a lot of progress, yes.
Yeah, so
because
tell us a
I
bit
was
about the
not
progress.
able to move at all in my bed. Excuse me, I didn't mean to.
No, go ahead.
And I was catheterized. I was tube fed at first. Then I went to a ground diet. Again, I could not move out of my bed. And I was so scared. But they kept telling me, it's okay, you know, once you can get out of ICU, because also I had brain swelling. So they kept telling my husband they had to do brain surgery, which is to remove part of your skull because of the swelling.
The swelling, right.
And thank goodness the medications they gave me, the swelling came down, so I didn't have to have that surgery. But it was a horrifying experience for my family, my daughter, my son, my husband.
So you know what, I want to talk a bit about steps for strokes, because a lot of things that we're talking about are the services that this organization provides. All of the things that Lydia's referring to happened in the hospital. What happens when you leave the hospital? Well, you know, there's a lot of ways that the organization can help. Direction is one of the things that we were talking about. You know, how do you help the family members? What direction do you need to go in to secure the right kind of therapy? How much therapy should you have? When should you have it? Transportation issues. Support, which is not only from professionals, but peer-to-peer support.
Right.
You know, you were mentioning before, and it really stuck in my mind, that, you know, it's wonderful to be in a support group peer-to-peer, where other people who have suffered from a stroke, you can compare notes. You can talk to each other about the progress you're making. And quite honestly, that's giving you a lot of, you know, a sense of, I can do this. I can fight this and I can beat this. And of course, being an advocate for, I said the word, I got the word right. That's a word I can't say, advocate. I just said it twice. For the organization, so that you can get more volunteers, you can get more people involved in it. And again, talking from experience is always the key here.
Absolutely.
This walk that I mentioned is the 3rd annual Walk and Roll. Very clever, whoever came up with that. It's Sunday, May 15, right in Glens Falls, right downtown City Park, which is right next to the Crandall Library. So it's not Crandall Park, it's the downtown City Park, which is right next to the Crandall Library, right on Glen Street in Glens Falls. There's no set fee, but they need donations, and the donations go right into this non-for-profit Steps for Strokes to help local citizens in our community who have suffered from stroke. There'll be people there with walkers. There'll be people there with canes. There'll be people there, runners. You know, bring everybody, bring the whole family, and really help this organization. Again, it's not the kind of thing where you get a fever and, you know, you could be doing anything. This can come out of nowhere and change your life in 5 minutes.
Yeah, that's right.
Absolutely.
Right?
Yeah.
And both of you know this firsthand.
Yes.
Well,
We do.
for instance, with my husband, I had gone, well, first thing in the morning, I asked him to do something, and he said, well, give me a minute, I'm dizzy.
Yeah, right.
And he got over that, And I went to work, and him and his friend were going down because he had shot a deer the day before and they were going to skin it. And he really had another dizzy spell, so they got him back up to the house, and he called me. When I got home, I asked him, who's the president? Or what day do you think it is? He couldn't answer those. But by the time the ambulance got there, he was beginning to lose things on the left side.
So you can see just how rapidly
right.
this
So
this
that's
can
why I
happen.
say, if you really think something's wrong, please get help right off.
Yes, okay.
Don't wait.
All right, don't forget, this is Sunday, May 15, downtown Glens Falls, right at the city park next to the Crandall Library. And come down, make a donation. And thank you both for coming in. You're really courageous. You have a wonderful spirit about you, Lydia. You really do. You're going to nail this thing. You'll get this done.
Thank you so much.
And we'll talk to you soon, okay?
Okay, thank you.
To see this interview again, you can head to our website, looktvonline.com.